What's going on, everyone? Goobers are back Friday night. I hope everyone's sober watching us because who knows what's going to go down in here. Brian, how we doing?
I'm okay. I'm in the process of mourning the Knicks lost. Not only that, but Halliburton just continues to make my foot in my mouth. I say he's the most overrated, insecure piece of crap player. What's he do in game one? It's a game-winning shot with 0.3 seconds left. So I'm wearing black today in honor of the Knicks. RIP to them. RIP to Thibs, too. We can get into that a little bit more as the stream progresses, because I know Eric had some thoughts on it, I think, are maybe a bit more controversial than what the mainstream opinion is of it. But we'll dive into that. Anthony, how's your Friday night going so far?
It's going good. I was actually thinking about it, and I think if our viewers would appreciate it, and I think they would, if the Pacers win this series against the Thunder, I think we got to see Brian in a Halliburton jersey on the stream. We got to make it happen. Where there's a will, there's a way. We got to make it happen. I know everybody who watches us would love to see it. So if the Pacers win the series, you got to make a deal. You got to make good on that, Brian. We need to see you in a Halliburton jersey.
Oh boy,
Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So
Gumby has promised me for weeks that OKC will win the finals. So I will commit to doing that as a leap of faith.
Yeah, there's still what, probably plus 500 to win the series, even down 1-0. So the odds are still in your favor, Brian. If you're a betting man,
the odds are actually they're actually a bit more close than I think you'd expect. Like, because I was looking at it just out of curiosity earlier, the Pacers to win the series are plus 250, and the Thunder to win the series is only minus 300. I say only because prior to game one, I think it was like minus 850 or something.
That's
so it's
crazy.
pretty big swing from what it was to what it now is.
But no, I think that's the deal we have to make. I think if they win the series, we need to see you in a Halliburton jersey. You got to commit to it, though.
I'll commit to it.
We're shaking on it. All right.
What if OKC sweeps the rest of the series?
Then it wouldn't be surprising at all from what I understand about NBA.
Then Brian is validated in all of his Halliburton takes.
Then Brian gets to burn a Halliburton jersey on stream.
Yeah.
Nice. That's equally fun. Is this a 20-second or 30-second draft, Eric?
22nd.
Okay. 22nd BBM. We could also explore today and look at other contests that Underdog has. There's some out there. We talked briefly about it on our last stream, but the Superflex one is, I think, interesting. I like I said, I did a few drafts of that one when the contest first dropped that first day, and some of the things that I saw in that draft are just not right, especially given the fact that wide receiver is basically useless in that format, given you only have to start 2. So if we ever wanted to switch up from just doing BBMs, I think Superflex prioritizing quarterbacks and running backs is like the total opposite thought process that you would have for doing most of the drafts we do on stream.
Listen, I accepted that we can do some big boards. I will not accept that we can do Superflex. If you want to do that, do that on your own time, in front of your own God, not in front of me.
Okay. I'm trying.
I
would rather do Eliminator if you guys want to do something else.
Eliminator's fun the way it's set up this year, from what I understand.
Do they do anything for like the NBA Finals, or is there really nothing to do because it's just the one game?
No, there's nothing.
No,
just the one. Yeah,
that kind of sucks.
I know that's what I said. I said they should figure it because it's hard.
Yeah, even like DraftKings, and like FanDuel, they have shit for that. Like you could do like where you have like the captain El Capitan, and you get like 1.5 times the points or whatever, and you build out a lineup that way. I don't know how they would do that for Underdog, but
yeah, that's the
get
problem.
Thinking, guys.
Yeah, they have a lot of smart people that work there.
Yeah.
Eric, what's your take on the Knicks firing Thibs after they got farther than they ever have in the last 2.5 decades?
I feel like it was probably the right choice. I mean, anyone who watched the series knew that they continued to play their not best lineup against the Pacers, and then with 2 games left, they experimented their lineups and they found a better one, which I don't know why they weren't experimenting all season. Instead, they just played Josh Hart 46 minutes a game. I don't know. The whole thing was weird. Didn't make sense. They had more depth than they like to pretend.
Because that's the whole thing you hear with the Knicks is that they're like, a very shallow team. They have 6 guys in the rotation. The Pacers had 9-10 guys deep that they would be able to get away with playing. So, I mean, the whole thing with Thibs, both with the Knicks and prior, is that he just runs his starters into the ground. So who knows if that happened to the Knicks or not, but either way, go Thunder.
Beers to the weekend. Hell yeah.
Lava Lord. What's going on?
What up, Lava?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's one thing to always play your starters if, like, they're by far, like, better than everyone else, but, like, Shamet played well. I mean, campaign sucks, but, like, we knew that in, like, December. I don't know why he kept, like, he was the sixth man off the bench for some reason. I don't know. The whole thing was weird. I think.
Well, now they're going to get Jay Wright, so.
Yeah.
Well, now they're also. I saw a report on ESPN today, so take it with a grain of salt. But I heard that they're trying to They kept saying reunite in New York with Kevin Durant. Did Kevin Durant? Was I high for the last 10 years? Has he ever played for the Knicks?
Well, he played for Brooklyn, so maybe that's what they're trying to say. But it's still kind of stupid to phrase it that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Kevin Durant at this point in his career, with how the game is played, I don't know how much value he'll add to the team. But maybe I'm just being stupid. I don't know.
Okay, I have a Saquon Barkley take. Can we get spicy? 30 seconds into this BBM. I think that if you faded Saquon last year and you're drafting him this year, you're soft.
I totally agree.
So I think I decided I'm going to fade him.
What can possibly go wrong?
Nothing changed.
No, something did change. I'm telling you, this is not like I didn't do any BBMs, any drafts last year. So, like, I am not trying to apologize. Let's make our pick.
I'm cool with Lamb.
Yeah, I'm always down for Lamb. But the thesis of fading Barkley was actually right. Hurts had like 15 rushing touchdowns. Barkley wasn't involved in the passing game at all. The only thing that I don't want to minimize it, what Barkley did that people did not expect was be hyper efficient and break away 60-yard touchdowns every game. So the thought
But he's always had that ability.
He has, but it's hard to project somebody to do that on a weekly basis. So I think the thought process, like in terms of how many touches he's going to get, the fact that he stayed healthy all season, it was the nutted outcome, and that's just what it is. You're betting on history to repeat itself when there's evidence to suggest that a running back who gets that much workload in the prior year historically does have a pretty big drop off in the following year. So taking Barkley at 2 seems like it's, trying to draft for last year's results. I don't think it's the right plan at all.
I don't know. And also, just throwing this out there, the people who drafted Barkley, they still didn't win anything last year. I mean, he helped you advance, but like he didn't do anything in the playoffs anyway. I mean, maybe that's just confirmation bias, but I don't know.
That's true. Anthony, as our resident Barkley truther, what are your thoughts about him going 102?
I don't think it's unfair to say that, like, obviously last year people were like too low on him, and like this year are people like a touch too high. Like, we talk about like market, right? You talk like if you want to put this in like real life terms, like, is this just a market overcorrection maybe with Barkley, where like people were just like too low last year and now we're like a tick too high? I don't think that's unfair to say. Like, I mean, at 2, like, does he have the talent to pay that off? Yeah, obviously. Like, could he? Sure. But like, I mean, if you took him at like 4 or 5 instead, like, I don't think that's crazy or anything. I mean, like, if we got him at 5 with our pick, just hypothetically speaking, like, I think that would be fair.
Well, yeah. Let's make this pick first. I like Bucky.
You like Bucky over
That's
JT?
A fun pick.
I do.
I would, yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Did you guys see Chase? This is the new thing going around. Chase Brown's week 1 Vegas prop lines.
No, but I'm guessing it's probably way too low.
Guess the yards.
Rushing
62.
or total?
Rushing.
45.
Yeah, it's in the 40s.
Oh my god,
That's ridiculous.
why?
I'm not sure, but maybe
Do they play
this
week
is
1?
dumb.
Does it matter?
Does
Anthony?
No,
that
but-
matter?
I'm just curious.
I don't know.
He would have to average like less than 2 yards a carry. I mean, like if he's
Well, they
getting,
didn't even draft anybody, right? At the running back.
They drafted Taj Brooks, yeah.
Oh, he sucks.
6th rounder, I believe.
Yeah,
They
that
still have
means
Zach
nothing.
Moss. They
Means
still have Zach
nothing.
Moss, who got a lot of work last year when he was healthy, and then P. Ryan, who knows?
No.
Well,
Brooks
P. Ryan
means nothing.
P. Ryan is returning. He wasn't on. He was on the Chiefs last year.
Yeah.
He doesn't get carries anyway. He's going to be like 4 or 5 catches maybe on a good week.
Also,
That's
the
it.
other big news is that Rashee Rice was he was running at about 20% speed and cutting at about 15% speed. So everyone's like, "Oh, we got to draft him in the first round now." So,
well, I went back and looked at our first BBM that we did this year, and that's hard to say. Rashi Rice was one of the players that we took, and we got him in like the 40s, or like late 30s, early 40s.
I like Devontae Adams here personally.
You love Adams this year.
Yeah, you do. All right, let's do it. We haven't taken him yet.
I love
Willingly,
Adams.
at least.
Yeah, I think I've taken him in every BBM I've done without you guys. So, I mean, I
Makes
just like
sense.
I don't know why you guys don't like him. I don't see why.
I like him. I just like a couple of the other names on there ahead of him, but that's
Who
just
do you
me.
like more?
I would take JSN.
I think that's
Anthony-
reasonable.
Anthony's a big JSN guy.
He's
Yeah, I
very
forgot.
Not
good.
wrong.
I forgot DK Metcalf. I always forget when I see JSN's name that DK is not like on the team anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's basically him
and
and Cooper Kupp who's
Yeah,
washed.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, people are too low in Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I think I'm one of them.
And he still hasn't gone. JSN's gone after Terry and Tyreek Hill now. Crazy.
What if he falls back?
He's not
Oh my
falling back.
god. Easy smash. But sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
GMJJ, what's up? What's up? We're gonna do another one. So, what do you say, Brian?
Devontae Adams he's like Mike Evans to me. He's just not a fun click because those guys, like, if they go bad, you can sort of understand when you're making the pick, like, oh, he's 31, he's on a new team, he's the number 2 on the offense. Like, should we be drafting JSN, the number 1 receiver in Seattle, or should we be drafting the number 2 receiver behind a target dominant Puka? There's a lot of things I think that can go wrong with Devontae. I understand the upside, and I understand what he did the last like 6-7 weeks of last year with Rodgers, but I don't know. I have a hard time clicking it, and I'm not sure if that'll change this year.
I mean, I think what he proved in the last 6 or 7 weeks is that he's still good at football and not washed, which is all that matters.
Yeah, but another year older, man, and on a new team that likes to run the ball in the red zone.
How do we feel about Darnold? Market seems confused based on his ADP. He's really behind. ETRs I'm really behind. I don't know. I take him if I have JSN, but I'm not like hunting him out. Like, I'm not trying to get like Seattle backstacks because of Darnold personally. I think he got a Minnesota boost and that's why his ADP is there, but yeah. What do you think here? I know Brian's going to say JMO. I like Kittle. I like Zay Flowers.
We could probably get
double
way back.
double with Pickens.
This is fun.
We could probably wait for both of them to come back. I'd probably go JMO as usual, but you can go whoever you want.
Let's do Kittle.
Ooh.
I like it.
I don't think we've taken Kittle in one draft.
I was going to say, I think it's the first Kittle share. So
I've
Eric,
also been taking a lot of Kittle.
you talked a bit about it, but you didn't really get into it too much. And if this is like a conversation we can have in between and then a little bit after we make our next pick, so be it. But you mentioned last episode about being out on Bowers and McBride relative to their ADP. So talk a little bit more about what got you there.
I mean, I just think that Kittle has about the same chance to be the tight end 1 on any given week or throughout the whole season as Bowers and McBride. I don't think – I mean, like, there is a chance that Bowers is just like an absolute mega smash. I'm not sure if Trey McBride has that, especially with Marvin Harrison there, who I think is better than people give him credit for.
I would agree with that.
Kittle is pretty close. He's probably not the same exact percent chance to be the tight end 1, but he's going to be close every week.
Marvin Harrison is going to be going like top 10 next year.
Really? I don't know.
I tend to
Maybe
I
10
tend
to
to agree.
15. No,
Really?
I think people are getting confused, like are misremembering or forgetting, like just how dominant this dude was his last year at Ohio State and just his college career. Like, he's going to be fine.
It's one of those things where like the market was just so into him his rookie
they wanted
year.
him to be Jamar Chase his rookie year. Yes.
Right. And he was fine, but he wasn't. So the fact that he wasn't, now it's a disappointment. Now he's going lower than where I think he should be.
I agree 1,000%.
And then we're going to play catch up.
I'm Pickens.
I'm going to go Pickens. Yeah. And then, you know what, next year, Anthony, similar to how I feel about BTJ this year, the market's going to push him up too high. That is Marv in 2026.
See, I agree. I think BTJ is going.
And I'm going to be out on him.
Too high this year, yeah.
And I don't want to be out on him. I was the Brian Thomas truther last year. I begged Eric every week we did BRs. Take Brian Thomas, please. He's so freaking good. And as soon as we started in February doing the big boards, I was out on BTJ as a first round pick.
You know who else people are too low on this year? And not like low, like, oh, he's getting drafted like low, but just I think people are forgetting like how nasty like Nico Collins was at the beginning of last year before he got hurt.
Totally
like,
agree.
He was gross. Like what he was doing. And think about how bad Houston's offensive line is. And it's still terrible. It's like that's not gonna change. But still, like I think people are just clearly forgetting that like he was like the number 1, maybe 2 wide receiver until he got hurt last year.
And a shit ton of targets for him. They are going to be there this year because Diggs is gone and Tank Dell.
Right, and Tank Dell, yeah. I mean, he's really competing with a rookie and Kirk.
If you were to look at the first round of pull up the first round quickly, you could poke holes in a lot of these players. Like Justin Jefferson, first time playing with a rookie quarterback coming off of a season-ending knee injury. Lamb, addition of George Pickens, potentially cuts to volume. Puka potentially cuts into volume with Devontae Adams. Neighbors, who the hell's his quarterback? Amon-Ra, knee surgery. J-Mo ascension. Demir Gibbs.
Yeah, it was a fun news dump the other day. Not to cut you off, but the same
Brian Thomas. Yeah.
That was kind of shocking.
Yeah. Brian Thomas. Travis Hunter got drafted. Like Nico Collins is the only one whose situation improved after the draft, and he's falling from where he was in the big board.
Yeah, I mean they did like Higgins. They drafted like 2 of the Iowa State wide receivers, but
we're on the clock.
I mean neither of them are like can't miss prospects. So.
You guys know I'm always David Montgomery here, but I'm open to suggestions.
We can get Montgomery on the way back potentially. I would go with Olave.
He's the highest. He's the earliest running back.
Olave's a tough click for me.
Is he?
I mean, we don't have him, but
Olave and Judy are the 2 that I would go with.
I tried to get Olave.
Oh, we autoed Mike.
Oh, he so tried.
I know. I actually did. JJ says Devontae will score a lot of touchdowns. Volume won't get him there, but I'm still clicking him there. Yeah, I agree, unless Puka gets hurt, which he always does. But people are injury prone, so it doesn't matter. What am I missing with Marvin Harrison? Depends. Are you in or out on Marvin?
I think he's reacting to what I think JJ's reacting to what Anthony and I both said, that we think he's going to go up in ADP.
I mean, how could he go down? Like, I don't see why he would go down.
Why would
he go down?
I think,
but he's not going to.
But what if he gets the dreaded injury prone label?
Marvin Harrison? Oh, yeah. I mean, did he miss a game last year?
I mean, this guy was literally coming into last year's draft. He was probably the number 1 wide receiver prospect of the last at least 5 years, I'd say. Yeah. He was on the level of Chase in terms of projection of the NFL. He was higher than Jefferson in terms of NFL projection by a mile. So I think people are getting a little confused after last year.
We'll make our pick and then we'll talk about that.
We need a receiver.
I would probably go either Reed or Shakir.
I like Reed.
We haven't done Reed. Give us another quarterback out.
You go with that, Anthony?
I actually like Reed. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. All right, we're on the same page. Worst pick on the board.
No, I think he's underrated. Another guy that's underrated for this season.
Have you looked at his stats? He's being drafted at a ceiling. If anything, McBride will score more touchdowns unless you think Kyler Murray will be a top 5 quarterback. I don't see how MHJ and McBride.
Why is he being drafted at a ceiling if he's going? What's his ADP?
26.
I definitely don't think he's being drafted at a ceiling.
Trey McBride has scored 8 touchdowns since he's been playing college football in college plus NFL. The man does not score touchdowns. He's just a big possession receiver.
He also got mega unlucky on touchdowns last year.
He did. But I think the thing with Marvin Harrison is the way they used him last year. I'm just expecting he was pretty unlucky with a lot of his 50-50 balls. They lined him out wide. It was just go routes down the sideline. Kyler was not that accurate. I'm hoping they didn't add anyone in the draft. So I think they're going to evaluate how they're using him. And I think they're going to give him less, large, what do they even call it? Like the targets are going to be closer to the line of scrimmage than they are deep.
Yeah, I do think they didn't use him right last year, but I don't know. I think he's good, I think he might have been overrated as a prospect. I don't know.
And that's the reason why he's going at the 2-3 turn.
I don't know ball though.
What changed
that's what I
last
pay
year, though?
ETR for. Well, ETR is ranking him number 35, and he's being drafted 26. So that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
The Sims are in ETR's head.
To be fair, I do like McBride. It's not an anti-McBride argument or conversation.
Agreed.
I think they can both be really good. Also, it's crazy. I'm seeing again because I'm a big Dynasty guy. You guys know that, and Kyler Murray is being highly disrespected in the Dynasty community.
Yeah,
he has been since last season.
He's always disrespected.
Yeah,
I do like Egbuka.
With the Bucky stack. That's nice.
I like.
He's coming around.
I could be talked into Higgins, and I like Pittman.
Oh, why do you like Pittman? Because ETR told you to?
Yes, precisely.
I would go Egbuka with the double with Bucky.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Ryan's always been anti-Pittman.
So wait, Baker just went.
Oh.
Why did you take double Tampa Bay?
Well, because I was about to click on the Baker Mayfield Q button, and it wasn't there.
I thought you were doing that because you finally came around and agreed with me.
No, I still. I mean, running back and receiver is a little bit different. I would pretty much never do two receivers. Running back and receiver, maybe I can be talked into it, but I'm not going to be excited about it.
Yeah. And Tunya, we started at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have a date with the bed at 9 p.m. So
I was going to say to answer the question, yeah, I'm going to bed at 9.
Yeah, no NBA tonight. We're all getting to sleep early.
Yeah.
Hitting the hay early.
Here's an interesting selection. I would probably want to go Jonnu here to correlate with the double bucks.
No, we already have Kittle. I'm waiting.
Oh, I forgot we drafted Kittle. I'm not used to taking a tight end early with you.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is dumb, but I mean, we have both Dallas receivers. I think we just have to take Dak.
But Dak is one of those guys that falls, and there's like 8 quarterbacks before him.
All right, fine. If he gets sniped, I'm pushing the play and entering another one.
No, we can recover this.
This team is dead if Dak goes. With how much draft capital invested in Dallas pass catchers, the team's dead.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
No. I mean, we could take Dak if you don't want to push the plane.
One more pick.
No, it's fine. We'll push it. All right,
let's see some of the running backs available.
There we go. Let's take them.
Guys.
Wait, are we actually not going to take them?
No, we're not going to take him. We're going to push him.
No, let's take him. I was gonna want Mason, and he went. So we could take Dak a round and a half early if you want.
Okay.
He's moving well at OTAs. Doesn't that change your opinion?
Is that what his blurb is?
That's what it said. Yeah.
Oh, really?
We need to. You know what I think? We need to get more. We need to get underdogs to write more negative posts about players that I like in here. That would make my day.
The problem is they don't. There's no negative reporting in training camp.
Yeah, that's true. Although, except for Jackson Dart, who apparently threw 2 interceptions.
Oh, I didn't hear that. It's the Giants. They're gonna suck.
MHJ is a rookie. Put up 150 points last season from 2014 to 2024. Mike Evans has never scored that little and goes 10 picks later. Yeah. But also,
hold on, I got this.
Jr.'s a rookie.
Not only that, they drafted Egbuka in the first round. They have 3 other guys that can easily diminish Evans's role. They finally have an efficient runner in Bucky Irving. Somehow, eventually, at some point, the wheels for Mike Evans are going to fall off. It's just like I said, you're buying into a declining asset with Evans, in my opinion. And Marv, to me, you're trying to get, you're trying to get that big hockey stick growth for the year and try to beat the market ahead of time. Like Mike Evans next year, even if he scores 190, 210 points this year, I can guarantee you next year he's going in the same spot, if not lower next year. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to draft players that, like, think of Nico Collins before he broke out a few years ago, like getting him in the 14th, 15th round. I know it's a more exaggerated example, but even last year, like Nico was like a 2-3 turn pick. Look at him now. Like you're trying to bet not only who's going to score more points this year, but also who's going to be drafted higher next year. I don't know. That's how I know it's like, it is redraft brain, like our dynasty brain thinking like more than just this year, but I don't know. I like Evans can't do anything to improve his ADP. I think Marv can.
Any strong leans here?
What do we need?
Probably
Probably another running back. What do we get?
Yeah.
Oh, it's very.
I
I
would
think
probably-
either
I like-
Jacksonville guy.
I like Bateman with the correlation with Green Bay.
He just got an extension too.
Yep. And then we could get into there's like 4 running backs that I like on the way back.
All right. Okay.
You
I
think
just
Bateman
don't-
rises at all with the extension a little bit?
I don't think so. Nobody
No.
cares about money. They just want to know what team he's playing for.
Well, that's true because really, I mean, for BBM, I guess it doesn't matter that much that he got extended.
I
don't know what
personally,
they're-
I don't like Bateman without Lamar, but I get why people like him.
I mean, talk about a guy that like can get there with touchdowns.
Yeah,
Like I mean,
That's
Bateman
all he
can
did.
score 2 touchdowns in week 17 easily, and we already have Jaden Reed. We could get Love and potentially Kraft later on. Sounds like it's a good
Yeah,
plan.
but here's my thing: if Bateman scores 2 touchdowns, Lamar probably also has 2 rushing touchdowns, and you need Lamar anyway.
I don't know. I like a quarterback is the most replaceable scorer. Like
Oh,
you can.
I
It
hate
is.
that.
It just is.
That makes no sense.
If you
Makes
could
no
have
sense.
Jamar Chase score 40 points, Burrow has 25, and you could also have a guy like Josh Allen who has 30 that week, and it was optimal to have Josh Allen and Jamar Chase.
Sure, it's the most replaceable score. It's also the most correlated. There you go. That's my argument.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, we need a running back. I like Spears. Benson's all right. That's kind of where I land. Ray Davis is fine. Ray Davis goes.
Oh, Ray Davis goes. Sad. I
I
wanted that
mean,
real
would you
bad.
take Ramondre or no?
I would go Ramondre.
I mean, he's guaranteed the most touches out of all those guys. pretty
Don't
much.
say that. I don't know
How-
if that's true.
He
Why
is.
do you disagree? You think he's not going to get more touches than Jaden Blue, Trey Benson, Rashad White, Garendo?
Jaden Blue, sure.
I mean, barring injury, but I mean, you could say that about anybody all the time. So
Yeah, I mean,
Everyone on this
Ramondre kinda
list-
just sucks.
Jaden Blue is just fast. Trey Benson is
Yeah.
ass.
Rashad White, bum.
Rashad White got replaced by a 4th-round rookie, and now people are excited about Sean Tucker.
What do you guys think? This is a big debate. A lot of Jaleel McLaughlin talk this week. What do you guys think about Jaleel?
Why is that?
Because this guy maxed the contest on DraftKings and he has 44% Jaleel McLaughlin. And
Well,
everyone's
he
making
better
fun
be
of him.
hoping that Dobbins
Is
doesn't
it
go
the
to
same
Denver.
guy that had Claypool?
No, it's not gritty.
Oh, okay.
That sounds like a gritty move, though. I would not. I mean, they drafted Harvey. It looks like they're going to sign Dobbins. I like McLaughlin as much as the next guy, but he's not a guy that I want to hang my hat on.
Not as much as that guy, clearly.
If I had
You guys-
5%, I would be like, it's probably 3% too much, but I'm okay with it. That's how I would look at him.
guys should be nervous for Harvey. If Dobbins comes aboard the Bronco train,
He's going to tear his ACL in training camp.
he
fine.
could do that too. Honestly, he could go to a spring training game and tear his ACL. That's honestly the trend with Mr. Dobbins.
Right.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins famously had a season-ending injury last year.
Well, that was the one he got. Now we're betting on it because he had a full workload.
Yeah,
Jared Goff, big.
law of averages in the injury world.
Jared Goff, big fall. Jordan Love.
I like one of these tight ends. We can do the Dallas triple if we really want to get freaky with it.
I would rather lock up Love with Reed and then take one of the 3 if they fall back.
Okay, I like that.
It's a good idea.
That's a good idea. That's why we keep you around.
Play the board. Don't let the board play you.
I let the board play me, unfortunately. Especially the 20-second clock. Oh my god, the board plays
What did,
me in the middle.
What did the guy that just took Goff? Was Goff unstacked? Was it just a value pick?
Yep.
No, he had JMO. Oh, that's such
No, he
a
doesn't.
sick. Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, I'm looking at the 3rd spot. I'm sorry. Oh, that 3rd guy is punching air.
He's pissed. Yeah.
A Goff fall by 30 spots to pair with JMO, who fell. Oof, I'd be pissed. But I'd recover. I don't know if I'd recover with Cedric Tillman.
Tucker Kraft goes. Sad.
That's fine.
I kind of want Ferguson if we can get him.
Ferguson or Goddard are good.
Oh, Ferguson goes.
Goddard's good.
Goddard's definitely getting taken. Oh, Isaiah.
Dude, what do we say? What do we say? Goddard always falls.
Isaiah likely got to be the worst pick on the board, right?
You think? Why?
I don't know.
Just because he's a backup tight end?
Yeah, he's the only backup tight end being drafted. Yes, and he's being
Precisely,
drafted in the
Anthony.
13th round. Got to handcuff
Yeah.
your tight ends. Got it.
Actually, that was the worst pick in the draft right there, Palmer.
People like Palmer on the Bills.
Dude, he fucking blows. I can't tell you enough times.
All right, I'll do Goddard. Is a bye week.
Goddard is fine.
Yeah, I'm liking this team actually. I'm so glad. Like if we didn't have Dak, this team would suck. Let's be honest here.
We were gonna get Dak. Here, go up. I want to see
What's
the
the
2v2. It would
Rashid
be
Shaheed instead of
well,
Bateman?
actually, no, because Shaheed and Dak versus Dak and Bateman. I mean, I guess it's fine. I do like
matters.
Shaheed.
Nothing matters.
To me, if Mason was there, Mason was the clear pick. But the reason I was okay with you taking Dak early was because no running back that I wanted was there.
Yeah, you don't let the board play you. You gotta play the board.
Exactly right.
Who just said that? Famous words, right? Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to get our conditional formatting tool up. Let me
Oh,
refresh
good
the
God.
screen.
Is that the colors?
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Now, what if you made it white, like the backdrop of Underdog instead of black? The colors might be.
That'd be worse.
Then no one would watch this. No one would watch.
Wait, I just want to see what it looks like briefly.
Okay.
3 seconds.
Flashbang. Oh, that is
Okay,
horrible.
that's worse.
That is hard. Oh my god, I'm actually blind. That is horrible.
Okay, so they fixed the colors because I can actually read them now.
Oh, I have my little number again. All right. I know how to draft again. I got the little number to tell me what to do.
We're back.
Romeo Dobbs. That's
Whoa.
the pick.
Yeah, he stacks and correlates. Probably
All right,
is the pick.
What do we want? ADP value, stacking, week 17. What's the most important?
Well, I think we can get 2 out of the 3 with Dobbs.
No, but like I'm just like the ETR sliders. What do we put?
Oh, I would probably say, can we do more than one?
Yeah, you can like low, medium,
Stacking
high,
in
high.
week 17.
Well, we don't like ADP. All right.
Well, I can look at I can see the ADP value.
Guess so. Romeo Dobbs. It turns out he's still the pick. Yeah, ETR is an insane projection on Dobbs.
Yeah, well, he's the number. They project him. It feels like to be the 1B to whoever the 1A is.
Reed. It's definitely Reed still.
You think it's Reed? You don't like Golden?
He's okay. It's not a fun
Right.
click for me.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's just a click.
Let's see the running backs available.
We may be done at receiver.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Let's see the running backs. Justice Hill, Will Shipley, both guys I like.
Hunter's fun.
Jarquez Hunter, always.
People love him.
You like Hunter?
Yes.
Is it only because Crutches likes Hunter?
Crutches likes Hunter, and yes, that's part of it. But also, there's a chance that he just gets all of the work. Like, how many other if Kyron goes down, or if he's just better,
He's going to get the lion's share of the work. Yeah,
he might just
I
get
agree.
everything. Like, how many?
But do we
other-
know that for certain?
I
No,
don't
but
think
it's a better
Cora's
bet
very
than
good.
Will Shipley getting 20 carries a game, right?
How is that? You think AJ Dillon is going to beat out Will Shipley for the number 2 role?
I think they'll split.
I think that's plausible.
I don't think Will
Really?
Shipley's that good. I think Jarquez Hunter might be that good.
Jarquez Hunter is a fun click. He does correlate or stack with Adams.
So this would be my concern with you're talking about Philly. So let's say Barkley does go down, just for sake of argument. Like Will Shipley could get more touches, but Dillon's just like that goal line back. So is Shipley just going to get sniped at the goal line, or Hurts obviously?
Do we want Shipley stacks with Goddard, Hunter and Adams?
All right.
You are saying Shipley.
Well, we have to listen to our overlords.
I needed to get him to click Shipley there, and I knew how to appeal to him. I finally learned.
Was I lied to?
No. Will Shipley was like 7.8, and Hunter was like 2.4.
Oh, also I forgot. I started doing some. I started pulling some of the BR contests from last year.
Right.
I only got through 5 weeks because I'm lazy, and it kind of takes a while. And by it takes a while, I mean I have to click the button each time after every 20 minutes. But I was looking at some stuff, and in week 1, how often do you think Josh Allen was stacked with at least one other pass catcher?
Ooh.
Wait, like percentage of lineups? You're saying?
Yeah. Well, percentage of Josh Allen lineups that were stacked.
I think it's kind of on the lower end. I don't think people like stacking him that much.
My gut reaction was 27%.
I was gonna say 33.
52.
Wow.
Really?
That's really high. That seems
way too high.
Yeah, right. See,
Yeah.
like I would see that and probably just like never want to stack them, to be honest.
And you'd probably be proven right more weeks than not.
The highest. This is a fun one. Kirk Cousins. What percent?
He's the
Kirk
highest.
Cousins?
Highest percent stack, like percentage of Kirk Cousins lineups are stacked. He
I
was
would
drafted
say-
680 times.
I would say like 86%.
Okay, not that high.
We're on the clock, and
Oh shit.
our guy fell to us.
Who?
Hunter.
All right. Back to more
I like
board
it.
stuff. That doesn't matter until 6 months from now. Anthony. How
Anthony,
many
what do you say?
Kirk Cousins lineups were stacked?
So percentage?
Yeah.
67.
Way too low.
97%.
Oh my god.
Because Kirk Cousins is never going to get there without his pass catcher getting there.
There was 21 unstacked Kirk Cousins lineups.
That's insane.
What about Anthony Richardson? This is a fun game.
Oh, Josh Allen was 52.
I'm gonna say
You think
Richardson.
it's more or less than Josh Allen. I'm going to go less. I'll say 46.
I'm gonna go a little bit more. I'm gonna say 58.
30.5.
Wow. All right, I'm bad at
He
this
runs-
game.
You like
I
this
need to
game
have
or
the little,
don't?
I need to
It's-
have the little numbers that give me a
I don't.
hint.
It's not as efficient.
It's
as I
not
thought it would be.
intuitive.
Like Trevor Lawrence was stacked 27% of the time. Like that's wrong. Like it should be way higher than that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense.
But like on some guys,
we're
like,
on the clock.
I'm glad someone's paying attention.
Anthony Richardson's a 0.0, so we can't go there.
Probably running back again.
Ford's fine. I would probably go Schultz, honestly.
Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, we auto Schultz.
Oh, that's fortuitous.
3 tight end build.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
That's fine.
I mean, I'm good
Yeah.
with those 2 quarterbacks. And
Yeah, 2 quarterbacks is good.
I think 5 total quarterbacks and tight ends is probably a good rule. Sometimes 6, sometimes 4, but in general,
Just depends on the board.
yeah.
If you go like Josh Allen and George Kittle, I don't know how that would work, but you should probably only have 2 of each.
All right, let's do a couple more. Tua.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Tua and Tyreek get stacked quite a bit.
Tua and anybody, I would say he's got to be like number 2. I would say like 94%.
76.
81.
Wow.
All right, I did better
We're
that time.
getting close. All right, we'll do a couple other things. What percent of overall lineups were stacked? There were 67,815 teams.
I'll give you the percent.
Yes, give me the percent.
Percent of teams that were stacked. So this is just simply qualified as like quarterback plus skill position player or tight end.
Wide receiver, running back, tight end. All of them count.
How much credit do I want to give the underdog community? I think I have my number, Anthony. I don't want to sway you.
All right.
You got it?
I'm gonna say, yeah, you want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna say 77.
I was going to say 71.
54.
Wow. That's way too low.
It probably depends on the week. Depends on which quarterbacks are there.
That's crazy, though. Half the lineups are unstacked.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Well,
So that's nothing.
Anthony Richardson
No
was
running
drafted
back.
almost every time, and he was a 30%
Wow.
stacker guy, so that brings
Right.
it down.
Right.
Do you have any data on percentage of lineups that were double stacked?
I
We're-
do, but I
we're on
don't
the
have
clock.
that in this screenshot. Let's make
Okay.
this pick first.
I'd be curious
Yeah.
to know.
I have some
We're on the
other
clock in
stuff.
1
Don't worry. I have
This is a fun little exercise. Hopefully, you guys in the
Yeah, I
chat.
feel like
are
I'm back
enjoying.
in class here.
Yeah, we're doing statistics
it.
problems again.
Let's see the running backs available. I think we need that more than a receiver.
Man, our running back room fucking sucks.
Miles Sanders is not a fun click, but it's a
I
click.
don't think it's that bad.
He's a little higher.
Maybe Rutgers bias, but I think Monungai is going to be fine. Because Swift just sucks. I said this last year. If we're like we were fading Madison like everyone was, but we weren't picking any Vegas running backs. I'm not picking Swift. Shouldn't we be taking Manungai?
Well, what about Roshan?
I think he
people
sucks,
like
right?
Roshan. Yeah,
Oh, people are wrong.
No, people.
All right, I'm picking Manungai. Sorry, guys. Just ruined a great team.
Well, Manungai correlates with Kittle, so that's actually okay.
Thank God. Saves.
I know you were really concerned about that when you made the pick. So to recap the team quickly, and then we'll jump back in. And we can talk about your data before jumping into another one. But we have Dak and Love at quarterback, Bucky, David Montgomery, Ramondre. ...
Sorry, I was on the wrong screen.
Go a little bit to the running backs. Will Shipley, Jarquez Hunter, Kyle Manungai. Man, Kyle Manungai is going to be a guy that's drafted less than 5% of the time. So if that actually works, it's probably going to be fun. Wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, Emeka Egbuka, Rashad Bateman, Romeo Dobbs. Tight ends, triple tight end, George Kittle, Dallas Goedert, Dalton Schultz. Not our best team. Not a bad team, though.
Yeah. I wonder what the ETR report gave us.
Oh, I forgot they have those. It's like a little report card.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, here it is. Do you guys want to do another BBM or do you guys want to do an eliminator?
I say we switch it up and do an eliminator.
Right,
Eliminator, for those that don't know, and
concur.
Anthony, you might not be in this either, but so it's a fun contest this year where 6 out of 12 advance. We're doing the 22nd, by the way, if anyone wants to join with us in the eliminator.
Oh, we need 10. I don't know if this is going to work.
It might, Phil. Give it time. We have time to explain how the contest works. So the first round, week 1, 6 out of 12 teams advance. And then every week from week 2 through the championship, 1 out of 2 teams advance. So it's head-to-head from weeks 2 through week 16. And then the finals is a 3-person final. Pretty crazy for 200K to first. So it's basically just a coin flip every week, essentially, but truly a coin flip in that it's a one-on-one from week 2 to week 16.
Wow. Oh, I completely missed this hard-hitting question. Brian, what's your puppy superflex strategy?
Oh, sorry, Tunya. I missed that as well. I would prioritize quarterback and running back as like my first 7-8 rounds. You only need to start 2 receivers. Running backs project more and score more points than wide receivers. So to me, like the teams that I've built have been, and I could pull one up in a minute, but it's going to be, elite quarterback in the first like 5 or 6 selections. I'm going to try to take McCaffrey, Gibbs, Bijan, any of those like stud running backs, Kyron, David Montgomery, like just load up. I would honestly rather have like 5 running backs before taking any receiver because the receivers are all falling, rightfully so in that. Given you only need to start 2, you can just kind of knock it out with your last like 7 or 8 picks and still be fine.
All right, let's go back to the data. Let me pull it up. All right. What percentage of teams were stacked quarterback, wide receiver, week 1 NFL VR last year?
You have your number, Anthony?
I got my number. You want me to go first?
I'll say 67%.
Well,
I was
considering the overall stack rate was 54%, it's not going to be that high.
Well, I'm assuming people are going to stack their receivers more than running back or tight end.
They're going to, but the highest answer could be 45%.
What did you say? What did you say the overall was?
It's of the
you
whole.
said what?
The overall stack rate was 54%.
54.
Oh,
okay, I got to change my.
I thought you were saying out of the using that 54% as your entire population.
No.
Of that. What subset of that? I gotcha.
I'm gonna go.
I'll go lower than 50%. I'll say
35.
That's what I was gonna say.
38.
Okay.
And then you put too much trust in underdog drafters.
That's what I'm learning. How many times do we get sniped on stupid players?
Tight end was 17% and running back was 10%.
Running back at 10%, I'm surprised at because
seems high, right?
Intuitively, I understand that quarterback running back stacks are generally underplayed, and that it is actually optimal more times than it's not to stack that with your quarterback, running back, but I'm surprised that happened so much given the other percentage stacks for the wide receiver tight end.
I think the one you probably see the most is Lamar and
too.
Henry.
It's going to be.
That would be my guess.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to find where I saved it.
While we're waiting for the 7 other people to join, I only drafted a handful of the Superflex teams, but this is the type of example of what I would do. I have Lamar, Bo Nix, Matt Stafford, Achane, Chase Brown, Chuba, David Montgomery, and then 3 higher value: Jalen Wright, Marshawn Lloyd, Justice Hill. And my receivers, I didn't draft one until the 6th round. Rashi Rice, Jalen Waddle, Pittman, Mims, Dobbs, Atwell, and Slayton.
Wow, they go that late?
To only have to start
That's
2
crazy.
of those
guys?
Yeah. Rice, Waddle, Pittman, Mims, Dobbs. Even just those 5, not including Atwell and Slayton.
But you got Rice in the 6th round?
Say again?
You got Rice in the 6th round?
Yeah. And then my tight ends are not bad. Mark Andrews at pick 123, Tucker Kraft at 150, and then Kate Otten at 200.
Wow.
That's the type of team, at least, that I would want to build.
Yeah,
and
I think we could. I think it's fair to say that was Eric eliminated from the stream here.
He was. I'm guessing he
was the victim of the Eliminator challenge.
Put a whole new meaning to Eliminator.
It's pretty fun. I'd like to give it a shot. I know Eric is very against it, but I'd like.
Well, hey, you know what? He's not the one controlling the screen right now.
Oh, he's gonna come back and be pissed.
Good. Let's see. Present.
Yeah, so I hope everyone's enjoying the draft right now. As you can see, we got some star players here.
Oh, you know what? Let's use this opportunity while we wait for Eric to talk about some of our favorite players to draft this season.
Oh my God, you can't see me.
Eric, were you eliminated?
I was eliminated. Trying to run a Python code while streaming, and my laptop basically told me to go fuck myself. So
that's actually so funny.
Wait, what the hell were you trying to run?
I think he's still fighting.
He's gone again. Computer. Well, I mean, he should have known better. I mean, that's a rookie mistake to try to run a Python script while you're streaming live
with 68,000 drafts.
Yeah. All right. So, what were you just saying? Talk about our favorite players of what?
So let's talk about our favorite players that we think are undervalued in today's underdog economy. Who's a player you think will rise from where they're going now in drafts to when it'll be September doing the final BBM drafts?
I mean, I think a guy who I really like, I think Ricky Pearsall has a chance to improve his stock a lot. I mean,
are you concerned at all with the hamstring that he got? Hamstring injury that he had?
I mean, mildly, but at the end of the day, it's June 6th. So I'm not gonna hamstrings are one of those injuries that can nag. Yes, it's a nagging injury and you just have to be careful with it, but it's not, it's nothing structurally it's gonna inhibit him. I think 3 months from now when we actually start playing NFL games. So it's not a huge concern for me. And I just think when you look at the San Francisco 49ers team, I just think they're going to have a bounce back season as a team, as an offense. You get McCaffrey back in there, and I know it might be easy to say, well, all right, if McCaffrey's healthy the whole year, he's going to dominate the touches, red zone touches. But I think honestly, just from a larger scale scope, it's just going to make their offense better. Overall, it's just going to make their offense better. Purdy's going to be more comfortable in that offense. Ayuk, we know him, he's coming off an injury, and last year, before he got hurt, was not very good. I know some of that was the holdout and all that. They got Jennings, but Debo's gone. Kittle is going to be Kittle, but I really like Pearsall. I mean, I loved what he did the last month or so of the season. Obviously, I mean, he's a Florida Gator, so always going to be a fan of his, but he's a guy who I think is interesting.
Yeah, I like that take. Eric, are you back?
I have no idea what that Python code did to my computer, but my webcam is just dead now. It destroyed it. and I don't know what to do.
Eric's been eliminated.
I've been eliminated. That was crazy. Like I clicked run and my entire computer shut down. The thing froze. I was trying to talk. No one could hear me. It was going crazy. And now my webcam is dead.
That's all right. You still got the attractive ones on the screen.
Yeah.
We'll hold it down. So
well, how about you, Brian? Though, how about you?
This is the 20-second eliminator. JMC, also GM. I would probably say the Colts receivers. Like I've been in on Downs. I've been in on Downs and Pittman since February when we started doing the big boards. I think I think they're just both very good receivers.
They're both good players. Yeah.
Pittman's a target hog. Josh Downs, I think, is underratedly explosive.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's Anthony Richardson throwing him the ball, which looks,
I think it's going to be Daniel Jones,
right? Which looks less likely. Daniel Jones, we've seen the ability that he can. You know, he's had a season where he was a top 10 quarterback a few years ago. So we'll see. I just think like Downs going where he is relative to other receivers there, like that Downs or Pittman to me, you know, pick your flavor. One of them is going to be the wide receiver one on that team. And you're passing up or you're drafting guys in like the 60s, 70s, and 80s that go before them that all are like 2 or 3s on their team. So it's like, would you rather have the number 1 on a team that is probably going to be like middle of the pack in terms of offensive efficiency? Or would you want like a number 2 on a low passing offense? Like, to me, it's kind of a no-brainer. I would want Downs and Pittman, especially at their cost.
Yeah, no, I like both of those guys a lot. That's a good call right there. And like you said, it's probably going to be Daniel Jones at this point if you're just reading the tea leaves on the reports out there, especially from today, which I think overall is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
I think for both of their production, especially Pittman probably.
Well, Pittman also, you know, I mean, I know people have talked about it a lot, but I don't think they understand what actually happened. Like, he was playing with a fracture in his back. Like, you know, you can't, I mean, obviously, like, looking at the numbers and stuff will help put together a story, but at the same time, like, numbers need context behind them. And if you're not going to take Pittman now simply because of his limited production due to a fracture in his back last year for the last half of the season, then to me, you're not looking at the full story.
Yeah, well said.
We need 1 for this eliminator, by the way. 22nd limb. Need 1.
Eric, how about you? A player that you think is going to rise from now versus the final BBM draft in September?
Jackson Dart.
Really?
Easy.
I'm glad I can't see the dumb smirk on his face. As he
I did have a dumb smirk on my face.
Well, I mean, you know what? Jackson Dart, like, there's nowhere else to go but up for where he's going now. Like, is he even getting drafted in most of these things?
He's being drafted mostly. I think in almost every draft he's going. People aren't drafting Russ.
Yeah, that to me seems wrong. Like, I understand, like, you're thinking week 15 through 17, but I don't know. Like, Russ is going to be the starter.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I hate Jackson Dart. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, I know that just sounds mean. I just don't think he's good at all. Like, I saw him absolutely bomb and just implode. Like, the last college game, well, technically of the regular season, that he played against Florida in the Swamp,
right?
When like Ole Miss needed to win the game to like make the college football playoff. And it's not an indictment of him, like just one game, but like that's just kind of who he is as a player.
Yeah.
And I just don't see it changing on like the Giants, who like are just kind of a mess on offense right now outside of Neighbors. Like, it's kind of just like Neighbors is basically like, if you've ever seen that meme of like where it's like the shitty looking shack of a house and then it's like they've got like a Maserati. Like, have you ever seen that meme like on Twitter or anything? Or it's like, oh, Mike Trout on the Angels. Like, that was like what people were saying a few years ago. Like, that's like, or like Shohei on the Angels. Like, that's like Neighbors on the Giants right now. Like, with their offense at least. You see what I'm saying? It's like he's the Maserati, and then like, it's a fucking shitty shack of a house. It's the rest of their offense. So,
what are we doing here? We just talked a big game about Saquon Barkley. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring for Bijan.
Yeah, I'm good. I prefer Bijan. So with the eliminator, I haven't done any, but just kind of thinking about it a bit. I think the strategy here is like I think running backs are more prioritized or should be more prioritized in this than they are in the traditional BBM. Like, you want like to me, you want running backs that project for high volume, especially given that a team in theory can be literally eliminated after week 1. Like, great, you drafted Matthew Golden, Jalen Royals, and like all these other rookies that hit in week 15, 16, 17. But this is a much more front-weighted contest. So to me, I would much rather take running backs. Like, I would prioritize running backs almost as equally as wide receiver. Although obviously you have to start 3, like the format is the same. I think running backs, like the volume of like their high value touches is more important to me than what they are in BBM.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. This is my first one, so I haven't really thought about it that much. But I think I probably am never going 3 tight ends. Probably always going 3 quarterbacks.
I agree.
But like I said, I haven't thought about it that much. Tunya says floor or ceiling in Elam.
To me, it's tough. Like, I think you want to balance your team out. Like, I would love to have a guy like Jamison Williams, Marvin Mims, Josh Downs, like guys that can just, like, if they go off, they win you the week because the whole name of the game is to advance. But at the same time, I don't think I'd want to have all 3 of those guys on my team at once, because if they all have dud weeks, then congratulations, your team is dead. So I think it's prioritizing those. Like, I think Devontae Adams in this is probably a better selection than in BBM, because his targets are going to be more highly valued, given that it's a 1-week advance every single week. So if he scores touchdowns, like the odds of you advancing, assuming he does, goes up. The question to me becomes, how much does stacking, if at all, matter in this? Like, I don't think stacking or correlating anything matters. Like, 1-on-1, 3-person final. To me, I'm just taking the players I think are going to score the most points.
Yeah, I still think I would prefer to stack, but like I said, I'm going to be drafting 3 quarterbacks, so you have 3 chances of stack anyway. I wouldn't like to double, triple stack, quad stack, but I think skinnies are good. Yeah, that's kind of my main takeaways. Any thoughts here? We're on deck. Probably need a receiver here. I don't really want to go 2 running backs back to back.
Could always go Rice.
We could always go Rice. We could always go T.
We know you're not going to go Garrett Wilson, because if you do, it'll go completely against your personality from all of last year.
I think we go T.
I'm good with T.
But yeah, like I talked about last year, thinking about the eliminator, I think that I went too hard for floor. Like, I always give the example, I picked Antonio Gibson, and I literally never used his 6 points on my good teams. So it kind of was just a waste of a pick. So I do think you do want the spike week still.
Agreed.
Any thoughts here?
I would go either Rice or Tyreek, personally.
Let's go Tyreek, because Rice.
Can we
Rice
have a little mini conversation about Tyreek? Because I was reading something the other day, or actually I was watching a YouTube video, and it was more dynasty focused, so it's not really not applicable to this. But a couple of the guys that I was watching were really high on Tyreek. Like, they were really in on Tyreek Hill. They were like, oh, like, we're forgetting like how good this dude is, like future Hall of Famer, like. We're just like forgetting about that. Like, Tyreek's going to be like awesome this year. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, he's 31. Like, I just don't know. Like, I feel like last year, like if you actually just like watch him play, like you can see signs of him like definitely breaking down a little bit and just not being like as explosive necessarily as he was like in prior seasons. And like Jalen Waddle's also there. And I know like the past, maybe last year Waddle didn't have like a great like crazy season or anything, but still like the talent's obviously there. It's like, where do you guys land on Tyreek? Maybe not just for this draft specifically, but just overall, maybe from like a BBM standpoint. Like, what kind of season do you think he's going to have?
My opinion on Tyreek changes depending on the tournament. Like, for the eliminator, I think Tyreek is a great pick. I think if he starts out strong, tries to show people like, hey, last season was just, I had the wrist injury, I got arrested, the team was awful. The O-line was bad, Tua was hurt. Like, everything just kind of compounded in a bad way for the Dolphins. I can see Tyreek coming out the first couple weeks really, really strong and just like putting his nuts on the table, if you will, and just saying like, I'm still here, I'm the alpha, this is my team, sort of thing. So from an eliminator point of view,
I'm putting your nuts on the table is another way to get arrested, depending on where you do that. So
that's a good point.
Got to be careful about where you're doing that.
But if he does that in week 4, and we've already advanced the team through week 4, then I'm good with that. BBM, I think I'm less excited about him because I think there's other guys that go like I think Rice is a great pick in BBM because of the back-weighted production, especially if he's slow to start coming off the injury. JSN, I think, is a good pick just from, getting a lot of targets. So, Gumby's back. Welcome. Heard a lot of clicking over there.
Yeah, I fixed it.
But
I come back down from the heavens to give my take on Tyreek. I think
he's basically the Tyrese Halliburton of the stream. Last 2 minutes of the stream, he comes back and starts knocking down the game-winning shots. Here we go. Let's hear it, Gumby. What do you got for us?
Like you said, if you watch Tyreek, you could see he lost a step. Thankfully for me, I didn't watch him. So I think of him as still being good, so I'm just going to pick him.
It could be one of those picks where it's like Tyreek went like 103 last year, was the 101 2 years ago. And like after watching like 2 or 3 games this upcoming season, it's like, why was this guy going? And like, why was he going behind freaking JSN and Bucky Irving?
Oh, yeah, you'll know right away. Especially like,
I know,
because I think we're overvalued. Like Tua was hurt last year, so like he gets docked.
That's what those guys were saying too on the YouTube thing I was watching, is that like he basically had no Tua for most of the year. So that's a good point.
Oh, I would like to take Jalen Hurts, so I'm going to make that executive decision.
And then we could probably get Devonta.
Yeah.
Or
wow,
Kamara is appealing in this.
Hampton's ADP is 45 in this. That's crazy.
It's about the same as BBM, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. So one thing that we do have to be considerate of in this format is bye weeks. So thankfully, nothing to affect us yet, but something that we don't care about in BBM that we do in this.
Let's remind me of that every single pick.
To me, it's either Kamara or Devonta Smith.
Well, we know Anthony likes Kamara.
Kamara in the eliminator to me is a smash.
Yeah, I think that's fine. But yeah, I mean, like the thing with Tyreek that scares me is that like if he actually did lose a step, he's fucked. Like if he's slow, like that
was his game. That was the name of his game, was speed. Yeah.
If he loses that, it's over.
Yep, agreed. Tunya wants to know how much money ETR won you in WNBA yesterday, Eric.
Let's see. I'll give you an exact number because it was a winning number, so I'll give it to you. I put in 34 entries for $5 each. What's that? Someone do the math on that. And I got back $285.
It's pretty good. It's like
$170. Yep. I paid $110. That was the easiest $110 ever made.
WNBA, it has an edge. I've been saying it since we started in August.
Yeah.
So I like this team. It's a quarterback that's projected to score a lot of points. 2 running backs that are going to get the ball, especially early in the season. He and Tyreek, pretty good wide receivers. So it's a very balanced build, which I think Commander requires.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like I said, I haven't really thought about it that much, and I haven't done one yet, so I don't know what the dynamics of where the running backs are going actually are. But like in BBM, I'm more inclined to just take 3 of Tyler Algier or Austin Eckler or whatever like that tier,
right?
And like hope someone gets hurt, you run into like some injury luck. But in this, if you wait for that, it's too late.
Exactly. Like you don't want to be relying on handcuff running backs scoring in like week 1 or 2. Everyone's healthy. Everyone has that defined role that people are projecting at this point when making drafts. So Kamara's not losing the role to Kendra.
So do you think like just going off of that point, is Hampton being a little overdrafted then?
I think so.
Format?
Because nobody knows what the split with Najee is going to be.
Right.
Yeah. That's
one of those. It could be one of those things where Najee's the goal line back. Hampton has like 80 yards, and Najee has 30 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Even like Harvey, though. I don't know. I mean, like Harvey right now, like maybe it doesn't look too bad. I mean, but again, they bring in Dobbins, and it's like shit. Like that could change between today and tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think that Dobbins thing is real? I didn't really look into it much.
Oh, it's definitely real.
Yeah. Okay.
It's real that they flew him out there to work him out and stuff. I have no idea if he's going to sign there. But...
I was going to say, I know that's real. Like, is it real that they actually want him though, or is it just like, oh, like come do a visit?
I can see Sean Payton wanting a guy like Dobbins to just don't fumble the ball, get 4 yards, and we're happy with you.
Yeah, maybe.
Dobbins has been on 3 teams. Coaches like him when he's healthy.
Dobbins is a good player. Like it's the injury thing. He's just injury prone, right?
Yep.
You both agree with that? No commentary.
I was waiting to see if Eric was listening to what you're saying.
If I speak, I can't speak.
So we're on the clock in 2 picks here. Pretty balanced build. 1-2-2 to start. Oh, I was hoping Juwan Jennings was going to fall.
Yeah, I do like me some Juwan Jennings. Sniped by Jewish McCaffrey.
I think JMC. I think Jacoby Myers is a good pick. I think he has easy projectable volume early in the season.
Do you like Jacoby, Anthony?
Yeah, no, I would agree with that take.
All right, we'll do it.
And we'll be on the clock very shortly since we're on the turn here.
Keep dreaming.
Josh Jones and Juwan Jennings are my 2 most drafted players. We were talking about it briefly on stream or off stream.
Is DeAndre Swift the worst eliminator pick of all time?
Why can't we take if we need a receiver? I like Godwin. What's wrong with Godwin? We know
I like
Godwin
Aaron
is.
Jones.
Aaron Jones. Yeah, I'm Reiner. Oh, sniped again.
Oh, there we go. Got to take Godwin now.
No, I don't. Godwin's not a good eliminator pick. I don't know if he's going to play week 1. Look at the bye weeks as well.
Matthew Golden. Hear
That's
me out.
fair. Okay.
Matthew
Golden. I'd rather have Reed. You don't know what Golden's role is going to be in week 1. Or Shakir. Shakir's a target guy.
I think Reed's a good pick.
All right.
That was some swift mouse movement right
there.
there.
That was very fun.
Yeah, I'm getting better. I'm getting into mid-season form. I'm almost in mid-August form here with my cues.
Now let's check the buys.
Oh shit! I'm afraid.
Hurts is week 9, 5-11, 10, 12, 8, 5. All right, pretty good.
Oh, just one matched up.
Yeah, but it's quarterback and wide receiver.
No.
Got
it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I forget about that because last year, even last year, it didn't really matter that much with buys as long as like you had a quarterback available. But
what do you guys think? So JMC goes Adunze, and
I was going to talk about him.
He's a player that I just have a hard time clicking. His rookie year was not as bad as people want to think it is, and this is coming from a guy who didn't like Adunze coming into the draft last year. But I don't know. He's a tough click. They drafted Burden. They drafted Colston Loveland. If you think DJ Moore is going to get like 20% of the target share, it's like, what is Rome going to do? What are your thoughts on that, Anthony?
I probably like him in BBM more than this format just for the reasons you named. Just because you don't know like the first couple of weeks, like how much is Burden going to be involved. I think Ben Johnson loves Loveland. I think, like as much as I like Tyler Warren, I think he's probably overall the better prospect at the position. I do think Ben Johnson absolutely loves Loveland, no pun intended. So I think Loveland's going to make an immediate impact right away. I mean, I still think Adunze, I watched, him in college a lot with Washington with Penix there. I still am in on him from like a BBM standpoint. I would still click him, but I could understand like a little bit of reservation in this format for the eliminator for sure.
Do I have permission to speak about Colston Loveland?
Sure.
I know you don't like him, right?
No, I do. I think, in my opinion, what's the difference between like why he was going where Brock Bowers was going last year in BBM? Why? What's
what? I don't know.
Because Brock Bowers was an absolute smash and is now going at what 17. Why is that? Why is Loveland being drafted the same place? That feels like a mistake.
Oh no, that Brock Bowers was like the best tight end prospect of all time. Colston Loveland isn't even the best tight end prospect in this class. He just got a better landing spot.
I think. See, that's what I think. I think people are attached to their film analysis of Tyler Warren for some reason. For some reason, the film bros just love Tyler Warren. I love Tyler
Warren.
Yeah,
he was my number 1 tight end coming out too. But the Colts wanted him, very early on in the draft process. So I didn't click him that much in like the pre-draft stuff.
Yeah, when the Bears traded up too, didn't they? Didn't they for Loveland, or am I mistaken?
I think they did. I mean, Tyler Warren is closer to Taysom Hill than to Brock Bowers and Trent.
Yeah, buddy. If he has a Taysom Hill career arc, that's fantastic.
But I'd rather
Bowers was the best tight end
for 12 years.
Bowers was the best tight end prospect coming out of college since Kyle Pitts.
Oh God, don't speak of him.
Man,
Kyle Pitts was the best tight end prospect coming out of college.
Pitts. I could be talked into Pitts still.
10 years.
I can still be talked in.
You've seen the Falcons are trying to trade Pitts, right? They said that
the Giants
to the Steelers.
Oh, really?
Oh, that'll be
That's what
fun.
that's what I heard. Yeah.
Rodgers, Kyle Pitts, DK.
I like.
Oh yeah,
Pittman
what could
here.
go wrong? What could go
You guys
wrong?
like
Pittman here is good. Yeah. And then we could take one of the 3 running backs.
I was going to say, if this guy doesn't fucking inject some more steroids and take another running back here.
Well, he's correct that running backs need to be prioritized, but 2 wide receivers through 7 rounds is not what I would want to do.
We're banking on Ploppy dude to not fuck us over.
So who do we want, though?
I'm good with any of the top 3.
I think I prefer Tracy, but I'm a little biased.
Anthony, break the tie.
Lot.
Who do you want, Anthony?
I would like Mason.
Are you good with Mason, Brian?
He's okay. He's scary.
I thought that's who you wanted.
I wanted Mason in BBM, not necessarily in the eliminator.
Who did you say? You want Najee?
I was good with any of the top 3.
All right, we're split. I'm taking Tracy. Sorry, guys.
No, I'm fine with that. I was good. I was
that's fair.
totally indifferent to any of the 3.
I'm not gonna lie. I keep getting fucked up and thinking that we're still in BBM. My brain is like not registering.
You got to lock in.
I know I do.
This is
in the eliminator.
This is kind of my hard-earned dollars, Anthony. We got
right now. I'm basically Jackson Dart against the Florida Gators in the swamp the last week of the season. I'm just the playoff berth is on the line, and I'm just vomiting all over myself. It's really a sad scene.
The great thing about that for me is I've just chosen to not watch that game and pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, no, it's an easy life for you. Every time your players that you like are bad, you're just gonna say you didn't watch them, so you don't know how bad they are.
Even if I watch them, I just block it out and say I didn't watch them.
Yeah, alcohol can fix those problems. You drink enough, you forget all about the bad games.
Eliminator ass pick right here, Darius Slayton. That's the one. That's the one who we need. Lock it in. We're taking him in the 15th round.
Okay, I don't know about that.
But we need to plan a quarterback. So we have Hurts, but I still want to do 2 more though.
Yeah.
We don't have to stack it. So like, what values do you like at quarterback?
I like Justin Herbert as a good value.
Yeah, I agreed.
He has some rushing upside that people are not pricing in. I love McCarthy, and I think Stroud is prime for about that.
Yeah, I agree.
There's so many.
I also think people are. I don't know. I feel like, has there ever been? And I'm just saying, regardless of format right now, has there ever been like a less talked about and cared about from a fantasy perspective, like guy who went number 1 as a quarterback than Cam Ward? Like literally nobody gives a shit about this dude. I cannot
with Bryce Young.
I cannot find an article. I cannot find a YouTube video, a podcast, anything that talks about Cam Ward as being like, all right, go ahead. What?
He plays in Nashville. That's the answer.
One of the greatest cities in America. What's your point?
There's no media coverage. They're shucking corn and stuff.
They do no. That is not. I think you're getting Nashville confused with Nebraska. You're getting those 2 confused.
It's all the same. It's a place that there's just no media coverage. Like you're not going to see, even if he could have a historic rookie year, and it still wouldn't be anything if it was drafted. If he was drafted with a more major market team.
Yes, but it's like people just like, and I understand he's not going to have like the greatest complement of weapons at his disposal this year, but like he was the number 1 pick in the draft. Like it means something. People are still talking about Shador Dash. And I can't find one article about Cam Ward.
That's a great name.
Shador Dash. Did you just make that up? Because that's amazing.
I read it on Twitter, but we're gonna pretend, just like Eric. I'm gonna pretend it's mine.
Just take credit.
That is some funny shit right there.
So JMC asked thoughts on bye weeks for a limb, and Tunia says avoid a position, but otherwise don't avoid that much. I would still consider it for other positions. I think definitely avoid more than 2 and try to avoid 2 at any position. But like you don't want to stack like 4 buys together, especially with high draft capital.
Right. To me, I would break the tie if I'm like torn. But like honestly, looking at those 3 running backs that we made when we picked Tracy, breaking the tie and maybe eliminating one of those guys to not have the same bye week as our running backs is a smart idea.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that's a very good tiebreaker, especially if you're between people. Yeah, I wouldn't like change who I'm going to pick completely, but if it's like these guys are mostly equal,
exactly
at different positions. So
the quarterback run has begun. I think we should probably take at least 1 quarterback with our pick here.
We should. Let's take. Let's wait for JMC's pick so he doesn't fucking snipe us again.
He's going to
Yeah.
take Evan Ingram.
No, he's
Oh, that's not who I wanted.
I was gonna say Justin Herbert and then just take whoever one of the other guys falls.
Oh,
So
so you're
it's like-
thinking double quarterback here?
No, like we take Herbert and then just like wait like whichever the last
Oh,
guy
yes.
after, if there's a
Agree.
big faller.
Agree. Herbert. I'm sorry. I was thinking for our next pick. 'cause
No,
we're
no,
up in
no.
two.
He's a guy that could definitely rise too. Going back to what you were saying
Yes.
earlier, Brian. Not at the skill position, but just the quarterback position.
Right.
Herbert's a guy that could definitely rise this year, especially if like Trey Harris, like if he's pretty good, rookie wide receiver.
All right, I'm cool with Ramondre, Spears, Ray Davis, Rashad White, or Tank Bigsby.
I like the top three, the Ramondre, Spears, or Davis.
Anthony
Ramondre's
Pick.
probably going to get the ball the most in the week 1 or 2.
I
Andrew
agree.
Pick.
Take Stevenson.
Same running back.
Gross.
Same running back by as Tracy though.
But why
Too
is
late.
it? Why is it gross though? If you're playing for early
Week
season,
1. You're playing for
Well,
week 1.
you think Henderson's going to come in? Henderson wasn't a bell cow even at Ohio State. So what's going
Right.
to make him week 1 or 2 in the NFL season of his career a bell cow when Stevenson's been productive?
with
I'm
Mike
not only
Vrabel as the
playing-
coach?
The problem is I'm not only playing for week 1. It's that I'm also considering week 1. Week 1 also matters,
Yes.
but that
They
doesn't
all
mean
matter.
that I'm playing for week 1. I want that clear. I don't
No,
think that's
you're not.
right.
You're not playing just to advance out of week 1, but you like
Sure.
but valuing expected production early in the season to me at the running back position matters.
What
I know,
percent
but
chance?
you're just treating him like he's Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I'm
Don't be
traumatized.
scorned.
What's the percent chance that Ramondre has 15 carries in week 14?
Probably
I think it's solid.
20%.
Really?
I
You
was
think
gonna
that
say
low?
15.
Yeah, I think it's low. I mean, they're not going to draft a running back in the second round and not to give him the ball. But I think he's still going to be involved. Like, I think Ramondre is not going to go away. Like, he's a guy
Yeah.
that I think you can pencil in for 10 to 12 touches every week at a minimum.
Okay, so
I
we
mean-
drafted Antonio Gibson.
No,
But
we
the
drafted
thing
somebody
is,
who's actually scored.
Stevenson's issue really has been fumbles. Like it hasn't been like his problem is the guy's just not producing. Like he just can't produce as an NFL player. That really hasn't been his issue. It's been fumbles, which is bad. Obviously, we don't like fumbles. Fumbles are bad, but it's not to say this guy just hasn't actually been a good player when given the opportunity, when given the ball. It's I don't know. I don't see. I mean, I understand it. By week 14, is he going to get 15 carries? I guess is your question, but I don't know. It just.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
don't
not
know.
like we're taking Ramondre. Like the whole thesis to me with this is we invested so much capital with Bijan and Bucky. Like those are the guys to me that are going to help you over the top. Like Ramondre is the guy that gets you there, and Bijan and Bucky are the guys that.
Think about it this way: we took him 5 picks ahead of Jaden Blue, who's
right.
a
Who we don't
tiny
even
little-
know if he's going to be the
stat
third
back.
running back on the team. Right.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
crazy.
crazy.
0% Jaden Blue.
He's just fast. He was
I-
the third string running back at Texas.
What do you guys think about Kyle Williams? He just went. That's why I asked.
He's probably one of the worst picks after round 10.
Yeah, and I tend to.
He's
agree.
a third round rookie wide receiver on an offense that people are not expecting to be top half of the league.
If
What
you
could possibly go wrong?
if you can't sleep tonight and you're bored, look up third round rookie wide receivers and they're all bad except for Tank Dell. Tank Dell's the only one.
The hit rate on it is astoundingly low.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Especially for year one.
I know who I want.
Yeah, we all know who you want.
Well, you know who McCaffrey's gonna pick. Oh,
Oh, damn! I wanted Bryce Young.
Tee him up.
Colson Loveland.
Yeah, we know who you wanted. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. And I think we just take Stafford and lock up the third quarterback.
Yeah,
No-
agreed.
No buy overlaps. Yeah, we're good.
Yep. This is good. I think 3 quarterbacks in the eliminator is super important. You can't afford a down week at any position. That's basically what you're trying to build for.
Yeah, especially quarterback, the high scoring position. You don't want any down weeks.
Right. But something to think about in the Superflex. I know we were talking about that briefly with Tunia when Eric was eliminating himself from contention in the stream. But just think about it this way. I'm not saying using Shador Dash as an example, but even Shador, if he does play, he'll probably be projected for 13 to 15 points. That's going to be a top 10 skill position player on a weekly basis. having at least 3 live quarterbacks to me is so important in the Superflex, and I don't think people are prioritizing it appropriately.
I'm trying to think of a way. I'm trying to think of a way to sim this, because maybe I'll look at this pod and just like randomly 1v1 each other. But like the problem is the projections I'm going to use are going to suck, because I'm curious what it's going to say are the. You know what I'll do? I'll just make I'm solving the eliminator as we speak right now. I'm gonna project every player exactly the same amount of points, like based on like draft capital, whatever. Like third round quarterback is all the same. Fourth round quarterback all the same, and then just sim it out like 1v1 of like a bunch of different combinations and see like which combos are like the most likely to advance.
Yeah, I like it because then it's more just telling you not like player takes. It's telling you just like roster construction and draft capital.
Right. Yeah. And obviously, I don't know. Okay, I have an idea for that too. But I think getting the draft capital at each position, right, and like number of positions at each number of players at each position is the most important thing for this.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be my.
Don't do that on a stream though. Your computer might blow up.
Yeah, well, it would blow up, and then no one would be able to see me again.
Although Tunya did say that was the best part of the stream.
Yeah, well, now he's gone. He left. See you later.
We hardly knew ye. So we'll recap the team before we make our 14th round pick here. So have 3 quarterbacks: Hurts, Herbert, and Stafford. Pretty good. Probably 20 plus points from them each week. Running backs: Bijan, Kamara, Tracy, Ramondre. All guys that you can say definitively in the beginning of the year will be getting the ball. Wide receiver: Tyreek, Jacoby Myers, Jaden Reed, and Michael Pittman. All either number 1 or number 2 targets on their respective offenses. Colston Loveland, Gumby's prediction for the next Brock Bowers going at the 17th.
Yeah, I may have been a little bit over my skis on that one. I got excited. Just a smidge.
I also don't think rookie tight end in a front weighted contest is probably not my preferred way to do it, but to each their own. If you have a player take for once instead of just relying on ETR, then I welcome it, even if I disagree.
Yeah, that is really his only player take that he seems to have is just with
Darius Slayton.
Darius Slayton's mine. Get your own.
Yeah, that's fair. I think, either running back or receiver here. I can be convinced either.
Yeah, we just get one of each.
Josh
Should we just
Palmer?
rebuild this? Should we just rebuild our BBM team that we just drafted and just take Palmer and Justice Hill or something?
I'm good with Palmer. Anthony left the stream because we took Palmer.
He's in protest. I understand.
Oh, sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, we get it. You didn't want Palmer.
I'm pretty pissed off about that one. Not gonna lie.
All right, Anthony, you can make the second pick. All you, no input from anyone else.
Oh God. Wait, can I see our team again? I need to see the team. I guess we're kind of good at receiver, right?
I would probably pick a running back.
I don't like any of the tight ends. I don't think I do, at least. I don't think we need a tight end, right?
No, I'd wait another round.
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Justice Hill is interesting.
That was my lean as well.
He's the correct answer.
Okay.
Wait, let's look at the buys. Look at the buys.
Wow, I did a good job for once. All right. I'm getting good at this thing.
That was nice. Because you know
I didn't
what?
even need help on that one.
Justice Hill is going to be on the field for 50% of the snaps like he was last year and the year before and the year before.
He also correlates week 17 with I'm just kidding.
Well, he actually does in the 3-person final.
Yeah.
It does matter.
Yeah, it definitely does.
So,
right, so let's play our last 3 picks because I'm kind of getting confused here. So we need a tight end for sure.
Yep.
Probably a running back and probably wide receiver.
Yep. We should pencil in Slayton.
Oh yeah, he might go though. Fuck.
I don't think so. The only one
he's rising fast.
Damn right he is.
Yeah.
He was free in the big board, and I loved it.
Are there any late tight end takes you guys have?
Schultz to me is a great pick, especially in this. Like a guy that is probably going to be the number 2 on his team. in targets, at least to start the year. Theo Johnson is fine. Jatavion Sanders, I'm a fan of. Those are probably the three. And Gesicki. Gesicki's honestly pretty good too.
Gesicki goes. No one wants Kyle Pitts. How sad. Poor guy.
There he goes. I would want a vet on this team for a tight end. Maybe Chig. Yeah, we need a vet to just, organize the building.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if a vet is the right way to put it, because I think if you're looking for early season production to balance out Loveland, I think Theo's going to be the starting tight end, starting receiving tight end. So yeah, I don't know. How many teams am I expected to get to week 10? I don't know. Ask good guy Grant. He'll sum it out for you.
Oh, I could tell you. Wait, are you assuming you max it, Tunya?
Yeah, I assume you max. It's probably less than one. It's probably a quarter.
It's less than one.
Yeah, go plug it in Excel. Run, quick.
I'm doing it.
Get the second monitor up.
I have 3 ready to go.
I saw someone posted on Twitter, but I don't remember who. Darius Slayton he's fallen. Jewish McCaffrey.
Oh, Chris.
Oh, Chris is definitely stream sniping us. There's no doubt in my mind. Fucker. All right. Well,
I saw that article that you suggested, Brian, where it said Slayton was the most underrated player or underrated receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, Brian wrote that.
He works for ESPN now.
Brian supported it.
Honestly, with all the layoffs at ESPN, you might be able to get a job there right now. If you want to write articles about Darius Slayton.
De'Ami Brown or no?
Yes.
I figured you would.
Because he's a good player?
These are my 2 that I want. De'Ami and Jarquez.
Yeah, people love Jarquez.
Let's see what this guy's going to do.
To answer your question, Tunya, sorry, I wasn't even paying attention to the picks, but to answer your question, it is 0.146 teams expected to get to week 10.
What's week 5? I think that's caching.
Okay, hold on.
You didn't do all of it at the same time? You don't have a list? Oh my god, get your
No, I did 50% to the 10th square.
Oh my god, that is a crazy way to do that.
No, it's not.
I would just do 150 and then times 0.5, and then drag it down.
It's 4.68 teams through week 5 if you max 150.
I think the min cash is 500 actually. So.
And you know what? I did that in Excel. You would if you did that in Python, the stream would have shut down.
That is certainly true.
So who's winning? Now, who did we just make our picks on?
De'Ami Brown and Jarquez Hunter.
Okay, that's not bad. Hunter correlates with or stacks with Stafford. That's fun.
Oh wait, the mid cash is only $10. Interesting. I need to look into that more. I need to see where
but don't you double your money every week you have a team survive?
Yeah, it's something like that.
I think if you get to week 7 or something, that's when you make your money back. Something like that.
Yeah.
All right,
so we had tight end. I'm starting to think the tight ends we're gonna get back to pair with Loveland is probably not good. We may have.
Yeah,
blundered.
It's fine. We could. I mean, there's still 4 guys that I like on this list.
Really?
That's what I was thinking.
More than me.
I like one.
Going to run
because they're my favorite team.
Chikakonko is going to be running, 80% of the routes. Sanders is going to be running 80% of the routes. These are guys that are going to be on the field.
What running routes is called? Cardio.
Wind sprints.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes if they accidentally get thrown the ball, they will score points on your roster. And if Colston Loveland does actually, have 50% of the production that Brock Bowers had, then this is just a luxury pick.
Well, what if he has 120% of Brock Bowers' production? Then we win.
Then this team wins it all.
Yeah.
Because we got him 10 picks past ADP.
So true. No one else has this combination of De'Ami Brown, Colston Loveland, and Josh Palmer. Unique.
That is probably unique.
Yeah, they're probably the only team in the fucking tournament.
I like this team. This team's pretty good. The running backs get a lot of touches. Receivers have some upside. We have an elite quarterback, but also 2 very good ones. The elite one being Justin Herbert.
Do we
There's
want
your
to
guy,
play?
Lee
Do
Marks.
we want to play guess the quarterback stack percentage of week 1 again? Got a
Oh,
couple
sure.
more. All right.
Kyler.
Kyler.
The percentage of time.
Josh
Like
Allen was
this could be up to
52.
100, correct?
Yeah, up to 100%.
Kyler
Of
with
Kyler
anyone?
teams ever stacked.
I'm going to say 64.
I was going to say 58.
71. Anthony's good at this game.
He started out
Also-
slow, but he got there.
Also, I don't know if you guys heard this when my computer exploded before, but I was saying that since this is doing week 1 is going to be pretty soft. So, like, it's people that don't know what they're doing. So I assume as it gets later in the season, it'll get a lot more accurate.
You need to
But-
get like week 12. Nobody cares about week 12.
I also, do you guys know what a regression is?
Yeah, like regressing back to the mean.
Like a linear regression, like seeing like what's correlated or whatever.
Yeah.
I ran projected ETR points with let's make this pick first. Do we like Theo?
He's the only one there that him or Ferguson if we want to go with Stafford.
Theo.
Same buy or different buy?
Different buy I checked.
Okay.
So I ran a regression on ETR projected points for each team and placement in week 1. And the correlation was like 0.0016. So like there's no correlation.
That's crazy.
But also it's week 1 and the projections are probably bad. I also ran one for like total team ownership and it was like 0.0001. So like that also didn't matter. So
That's so. And week 1 is going to be is always like I'm imagining the
Yeah.
softest week.
I
Like
think-
all the guys coming in like this is going to be my year. They get raked in week 1 and they're done.
I think it'll probably be more correlated if you like take every week together and like combine it like that. But like if you do like week, it's gonna look a little bit weird. That's my theory,
Right.
but haven't tested it.
Well,
Anyway,
stick around for next week's episode. We'll pick up where we left off here.
Yeah.
For those that
Maybe
are
we'll
new,
throw in some WNBA next week.
maybe
oh yeah,
depending on the slate. Caitlin Clark is back eventually. So
Angel Reese over under 17.5 rebounds off her own misses.
over 17 and a half rebounds, under 10 points.
Yep.
Lock it in.
all right, guys. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Any closing thoughts?
Thank you all for sticking around, getting closer to the NFL season. We're all excited. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. If there's anything you disagreed with after watching this back, please let us know. We read all the comments whenever they come through.
Yep. Go Pacers. Can't wait to see Brian in that Halliburton jersey.
Brian, thoughts on Knicks coach Danny Hurley?
Wait, no.
No.
I heard they're gonna try to talk. They're gonna talk to Jason Kidd, which is interesting. High level, Gumby watches way more NBA than I do. He told me that the Knicks firing Thibs was good for the team after getting to a spot they haven't been in 2.5 decades. So I'll put more faith in Gumby than I will in the Knicks front office. But I think it depends on who it is. So when they make a hire, come back in the stream and ask me then.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
See ya.